In moments that seem familiar, nature is still quietly changing and reshaping the surrounding space. From peaceful beaches to roads, residential areas, or remote mountains, everything can shift in just a split second, not loudly, but enough for people to realize the powerful presence of nature. In Gatlinburg, a parking area that seems safe is quickly overwhelmed as rocks pour down from above, reflecting the hidden harshness of the surrounding environment. The brief stillness quickly gives way to the strong movement of rocks and soil, making the space heavy and difficult to control. Intact school buildings can no longer stand against the movement of rocks and soil. With a wrong action, instead of braking, the car loses control and causes a collision, showing that just 1 second of distraction can lead to major consequences. The difference between control and loss of control sometimes lies in just a few seconds, and calmness helps avoid a seemingly unavoidable collision. When the engine is activated before control is ready, the small vehicle becomes unpredictable, creating a chain of unwanted collisions in a narrow space. In the space at Atlanta Airport, where everything operates by centimeters, a height barrier pierces through a bus, making everything fall silent. In a shopping space that seems separate from the traffic, a car crashes into a store, showing that just one moment of lost control can erase the safety boundary.
His tires weren't spinning until...
Right there.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
During a storm in Bulgaria, lightning strikes a tree like a clear sign of nature's raw power, making the space heavy and unpredictable. An unexpected flight as a piece of a metal trash bin is blown up by the wind and lands in a parking area, creating an unforeseen situation. In Huda Bani Tamim, aerial footage by Abdullah Gumayjan shows floodwaters entering King Abdullah Road as vehicles rush to move away from the rapidly rising water. In Saudi Arabia, floodwaters not only rise but also carry away vehicles and belongings, showing the strong impact of nature. In a seemingly peaceful space, the goose suddenly rushes toward the man, showing that territorial behavior can appear very quickly in nature. In a home garage, the man unexpectedly encounters a bear, but remains calm, showing how stable reactions can prevent escalation. In Alberta, a moose suddenly attacks a stationary car, showing that territorial behavior can appear even when vehicles are not moving. The moment a driver helps a moose escape from a roadside fence in Canada creates a humane image. The small residential space is quickly swallowed as rocks and soil collapse and pull an excavator inside, leaving a harsh feeling spreading across the area. The space near the landslide suddenly becomes tense as rocks and soil move unexpectedly, showing that the boundary between safety and risk can be very close.
Yeah.
In the movement of rocks and soil, a large rock crashes down close to the car, like a heavy force making the surrounding space feel overwhelmed. On the road, the space of movement suddenly becomes unstable as rocks and soil collapse nearby, putting the motorcyclist's journey under pressure. The trash bin opens, and the plot twist appears. The cat jumps onto the head and runs away, leaving a moment both startling and funny. A shopping without opening the door, the deer rushes in and knocks down the Christmas tree, as if testing the strength of the holiday season. In California, familiar store shelves lose stability as tremors pass through, leaving a silent moment in the shopping space. In Taipei, buildings sway with offshore tremors, making the urban space suddenly fall silent in the moment. The storm in Cleveland pours down dense hailstones, showing how nature expresses its own rapid and unpredictable changes. A seemingly normal touch triggers drama as equipment on the table suddenly explodes, making everything change direction in an instant. The ball that seems harmless actually hides a surprise, and the man seems to read the situation before it happens. The incident in Stafford Ocean County, New Jersey shows that natural gas, when leaking, can accumulate and cause a strong reaction directly affecting structures. In a town in southern Italy, the ground suddenly changes its mind after a landslide pulling many buildings down and leaving a scene that makes everyone silent. In Louisiana, a skyscraper that once stood tall now ends its journey after damage from a storm, leaving a quiet feeling amid the city's changes. The quiet in northern Utah is broken when a small plane crashes into a front yard, leaving a silent moment in everyday life.
Ay, qué huevo. Ay, puta la gonorrea, Ay, gonorrea, se desplomó el helicóptero.
On a slope, the Corvette loses control and crashes into a house, showing that speed and terrain can quickly exceed control.
¿Están bien? ¿Ustedes están bien?
No. I knocked on your door to make sure you guys were okay. Nobody was there.
Thank God that kid weren't there.
The space in front of the store becomes fragile when uncontrolled speed sends a car crashing into the building, reminding that just 1 second of distraction can change everything. The black bear approaches a golf bag with curiosity, turning a familiar object into an interesting item to explore in a very natural way.
Stay away from my beer. Yeah, you're gonna rip my golf bag. Hey!
Yep.
Hey!
At a farm on Vancouver Island, a piglet suddenly confronts a black bear, creating a reverse situation where the larger one steps back cautiously. In Ontario, a bear casually scratches an itch right on the stairs, turning a living space into a moment both strange and somewhat humorous. The moment a bear rushes up to a house door in British Columbia brings a breathless feeling as the safe distance is only within inches.
Serious? SR-22 red and ready. Oh, bounce it, bounce it! Oh!
The runway in Tampa becomes tense as the plane suddenly bounces during approach, leaving a moment that draws all eyes.
Oh shit!
In Phoenix, this incident reminds that in a complex environment, timely response can help minimize risk for those around. In Amman early summer, rain suddenly turns stairways into strong flowing streams, creating a scene both unusual and overwhelming in the city. In Amman, floodwaters rise quickly and cover vehicles, creating a scene both overwhelming and full of pressure from nature. Amid floodwaters in Turkey, a car stops helplessly while trying to cross, clearly reflecting the risk of underestimating the power of flowing water. If you were standing there, what would your first reaction be? In Wautoma, Wisconsin, the moment lightning knocks down a pine tree near a classroom creates the feeling that nature is revealing power beyond control. On a ship deck in Norway, the distance between people in the storm nearly disappears as lightning strikes right beside them, showing that nature does not keep a safe distance. On the coast of Maine, strong winds push waves higher, making the sea more violent and the surrounding space feel heavy in the moment. Strong winds drive waves onto riverside roads, making the familiar space violent and full of change. In a coastal city, rising water changes the familiar space, leaving a feeling of awe before natural power. The Christmas parade in Gatlinburg suddenly has a new member as a bear steps into the festive atmosphere unexpectedly. While relaxing on the ship deck, the Australian man suddenly receives an uninvited guest as a snake crawls right next to him, instantly changing the peaceful moment. On a highway in New Mexico, a herd of moose crosses the road, but slips repeatedly, creating a moment both surprising and worrying for viewers.
Look at the bull. What is he doing? He's just guiding him?
During the storm, the wall can no longer withstand strong waves, allowing water to flood into the yard and leaving a feeling both overwhelming and silent. In La Valette, Malta, the storm brings large waves flooding into the streets, making the urban space suddenly violent and unpredictable. In Cornwall, rough seas rise and flood into the streets, making the coastal town pause before unpredictable power. A familiar market corner suddenly becomes tense as snow falls from the roof and covers vehicles, reflecting how severity can appear unexpectedly. Have you ever experienced a situation where everything changed in just a moment like this? The resort space in the Alps, Italy, quickly becomes heavy as an avalanche rushes down, showing that harshness can appear even in a peaceful setting. In Malatya, part of a newly built apartment building can no longer maintain its structure after tremors, leaving a silent moment in the urban space. A viral moment unfolds as durable pants withstand a fall, leaving the girl embarrassed and viewers laughing. A flower pot falls from a balcony landing just inches away from two people below a narrow escape caught on camera.
Silver Toyota. Looks like one. Oh my God! Holy!
A police officer narrowly avoids a runaway vehicle while working roadside, saved by quick reflexes.
Holy!
The moment a swimmer is among stingrays in the Maldives brings a feeling both close and overwhelming before the underwater world. At a farm in Ontario, ducks quack while shivering slightly as they walk across the snow, as if taking the chance to go for breakfast in the cold. The moment capybaras walk in a line in Brazil makes everything look like a parade in a cute version. In Northern California, pool water rises with the tremors, breaking the calm and leaving a silent feeling in the moment. In the middle of the lake, large hailstones continuously hit the surface, creating the feeling as if the water is being stirred by the power of the weather. Giant hail in eastern Iowa covers the space with strong impacts, making the car the only temporary shelter against harsh conditions. In Utah County, snow masses on the Provo River are handled by a controlled explosion, creating a powerful moment in the quiet winter scene. A cut that seemed carefully calculated goes off script as the tree chooses the power line to end with an explosion no one expected.
Get out of here.
A frame that seems normal suddenly changes color as an explosion unexpectedly covers the sky, making everything unbelievable in an instant.
Scott! Go, go, go! Get your jacket off.
In Orange County, a historic airship hangar collapses in flames, closing a part of memory in a moment that leaves many silent. In Mexicali, a sandstorm not only blocks visibility, but also causes the front of a building to collapse, leaving a scene that makes viewers silent. In California, a strong wind knocks down a large tree, causing it to fall onto a church and leaving a silent moment in a once peaceful space.
All right, let's go check on them, right? Call 911, right?
Traffic that seems stable becomes chaotic when uncontrolled speed causes a chain collision, showing that even a small deviation can create continuous risk.
Chicago 3408. Chicago 340 strong.
A town in Bosnia is devastated as floods and landslides destroy homes and streets, leaving behind a heartbreaking scene.
Real good one.
Boy, it makes you be on the wheel or a bunch of men.
An avalanche rips across a South Island mountainside, a powerful and intimidating display of nature's force.
Oh, it's still coming down. Wow.
The moment a humpback whale leaps up to catch prey creates a powerful scene, as if the ocean explodes in an instant. The man gently removes a rope from the antlers, helping the deer escape a small but meaningful moment between humans and nature.
Get on this side of the tree. Nick, Josh.
Shit stuck his horns on, boy.
Dude.
On the sandy beach, the rescue of a whale creates a gentle image where support becomes an important factor in a special situation. Among steadily moving traffic, uncontrolled driving behavior sends a car into a construction area, emphasizing that speed must always go with observation. A familiar journey becomes tense when an unexpected explosion occurs on the roadside, suggesting that technical incidents can affect the surrounding area. On the highway, a car loses control and crashes into a stopping area, nearly hitting a police officer, a moment showing risk can come in an instant. A fruit-loaded vehicle in a crowded market becomes a control challenge as imbalance quickly spreads to both people and goods. As the woman stretches and yawns, the glass door suddenly shatters beside her like a wake-up moment in an unexpected way. In downtown Dallas, streetlights shake violently as strong winds sweep through the city during a storm. Debris from a pier is carried down the Brisbane River during deadly flooding, with massive logs swept along.
This done happened again.
Floodwaters surge into a neighborhood in Burlington, turning familiar roads into dangerous currents and halting traffic. When the pipe breaks, water quickly spreads into the convenience store, reminding that infrastructure systems always need attention. The tractor decides to go on its own while turning, leaving the farmer running after it as if being left behind on the road. Just one movement when standing up causes the table to lose balance and pulls two others into an unexpected fall. In the mountains of Alaska, a skier records the moment an avalanche spreads down the slope, clearly reflecting the raw power of nature right before the eyes.
Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Damn!
Amid the mountainous landscape of Argentina, an avalanche appears like a spreading force, making the entire space feel heavy and hard to control. A corner of Tahoe quickly changes as a snowstorm forms and covers the area, reflecting the silent yet overwhelming power of weather conditions. Heavy rain in Taif causes water to flow across the streets, creating a scene both overwhelming and reflective of nature's power. A normal sea day suddenly changes mood as a large wave arrives, sweeping everything into an unbelievable moment. But fortunately, no one is injured.
Olha! Arrastou monte de gente! Arrastou monte... Olha! Arrastou monte de gente! Tá vindo por tudo quanto é lado, meu...
A bulldog battles a stream of water, barking and jumping like a child at play in a joyful and chaotic scene.
I told you it was gold.
In Tasmania, a wombat uses a bicycle as a scratching post, turning an ordinary object into a moment of pure charm. Roads in a coastal town in Ireland completely change as waves rise and flood, in reminding of the clear impact of weather. The phenomenon in Acadia, Maine shows that when strong winds and coastal terrain combine, wave energy can increase and directly impact rocky shores. Among the crowded canals in Venice, Italy, a small deviation in movement creates an intersection between a cruise ship and a boat. In Ecuador, the unstable movement of a cargo ship causes a bridge to break, leaving a gap in the transportation system. Would you dare stand still for another 3 seconds in this situation, or run away immediately? In a seemingly harmless everyday moment, focusing on the phone makes the distance to the train more fragile than ever. In the confined terrain of Texas, a truck stuck on the railway makes the safe distance to the train almost disappear. A situation in Aledo shows that even a small collision can change the trajectory of a train, causing disruption to nearby traffic.
Oh my God.
Hail in Indiana not only covers the space, but also sounds like drum beats on roofs and vehicles, creating a feeling of constant pressure. In north-central Indiana, large hailstones like fists fall densely clearly, reflecting rare intensity and direct power of the storm. Intense hailstorms strike Texas, creating a loud and chaotic scene under dark storm clouds. In Melbourne, an earthquake sends pool water sloshing violently, forming waves that spill over the edges in a rare sight. During a quiet meal in isolation, instant noodles suddenly jump off the table, leaving two men stunned and confused. A pipeline incident causes water to rise inside the bus and continuously overflow outside, creating a rare and high-pressure situation. The car loses control, spins, and crashes into surrounding objects, like a situation showing that uncontrolled reactions can make things worse. A flooded street. What do you think is more dangerous? Deep water or unexpected waves? Carrying a crate of beer confidently, the man steps onto a plank, and the result is the plank breaks, the beer flies, and he lands in an unforgettable fall. Two workers optimize work with a scooter, but the trash bin does not agree. The result is both of them landing in an unexpected fall. While rushing to find a safe place, the store employee witnesses the glass wall blown down by the wind, showing how wind can change everything very quickly. An uninvited guest suddenly jumps onto a clothing rack, causing the whole store to panic. Small, but enough to startle everyone. In the forest of British Columbia, a mother deer bravely stands blocking the path facing a bear to protect her fawn, a moment both tense and full of instinctive love.
Good. Good, Mama.
A cow turns a simple stick into its own personal scratching tool, creating a surprisingly clever and funny moment. A golden retriever performs what looks like a playful dance while scratching, bringing instant smiles to anyone watching. In Tasmania, a wombat uses a bicycle as a scratching post, turning an ordinary object into a moment of pure charm. The moment a swarm of locusts moves across Saudi Arabia creates the feeling of a living storm, where everything is swept into constant motion. Do you think just 1 second of distraction is enough to make everything turn upside down like that?
They ain't gonna mess with you. They get out your way. There's a pile of them, dude.
Storm Sanba pushes massive waves onto the southern coast, making the coastal scene intense and pressured. A moment in Busan as strong waves flood into the streets, completely changing the familiar coastal city scene. In Iowa, thick snow quickly paralyzes the usual pace of movement, showing that severe weather can almost freeze traffic space. Major flooding in Asir turns familiar landscapes into violent flows, showing how nature can change everything in a short time. In Taif, Saudi Arabia, heavy rain causes floodwaters to spill onto the highway, disrupting traffic and showing how weather can quickly affect transportation. In Detroit, Windsor, the flash of lightning highlights the entire space, like how nature expresses its power through light. In Grand Rapids, flashes appear continuously during a severe storm, clearly reflecting the rapid changes in intensity of the weather in Michigan. Lightning strikes South Florida during a strong storm, creating a dazzling light, showing the power and harshness of the weather in each moment. On the southern coast of Turkey, large waves continuously hit the shore, flooding onto roads and making vehicle movement difficult and pressured.
Not want to be in there.
If you find this video worth watching, please like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss the next interesting moments. Survey activities in a city in Japan clearly show changes after an earthquake, reminding of its long-term effects. Two gray whales surface in perfect sync, creating a breathtaking harmony in the open ocean.
Oh my god! Oh, yeah! Woohoo! Wild. The other one's coming up.
Do you believe there is an unspoken language of trust between humans and animals? In San Diego, drone footage captures two gray whales moving together like a quiet ocean love story.
What the hell is that?
In Melbourne, hanging lights sway with the tremors, making the familiar space suddenly unstable and tense.
Wow.
In Ohio, hail covers the backyard like an unexpected layer of snow, creating a scene that leaves many stunned.
Yikes.
During strong storms in Iowa, hail continuously hits the roof, creating a clear sign of rapid weather changes. The moment the hot air balloon encounters trouble and falls, quickly changes the surrounding space, leaving a spreading sense of tension. In Houston, a severe storm causes a construction structure to no longer stand, leaving a heavy moment in a highly unstable scene. An industrial symbol in West Virginia ends its life cycle with a controlled demolition, leaving a feeling both decisive and reflective. At an Australian beach, the migration of eels creates a rare scene where nature operates with its own fascinating rhythm. A corner of Dorset Beach turns heavy as large masses of earth collapse, reflecting the silent but significant power of nature.
Oh, wow.
A Chevy Camaro enters a driveway when a fuel container suddenly explodes, sending flames and debris into the air. A vehicle loses control and pushes rocks across an icy road, resembling a curling match on a highway. In Kharkiv, massive blocks of ice break loose inside a school building, creating a tense and dramatic scene. On the football field, the surface that seems solid suddenly changes as a giant sinkhole appears, making the familiar space unstable in just a moment. As the fire approaches homes in Oklahoma, the plane seems to rush into the challenge, carrying firefighting efforts that everyone follows. The yellow jetliner suddenly loses control and crashes into a small village near the port, leaving a breathtaking moment, but ending with no injuries. Off the coast of Vietnam, a cargo ship moves through rough seas, where each large wave challenges stability in a constantly changing environment. In Croton, as water rushes over the dam and the Muskegon River rises, an evacuation order is issued as a necessary response to the rapid changes of nature. During winter in Michigan, strong waves repeatedly hit the lighthouse, leaving a feeling both overwhelming and silent before nature. The African spoonbill struggles with a fig as if trying a high-level difficult dish, creating a moment both cute and funny. The baby elephant plays as a footballer with spontaneous touches, creating a moment both adorable and surprising. At the Australian Antarctic Station, the aurora appears with vivid colors, turning the cold space into a captivating light painting.
With those, the struggle is real. That's when you need zero trouble.
No matter where those movements remind us that the environment always operates in its own way. And sometimes that unexpected change is what makes each moment more memorable. How would you react if you were in those situations?